And then the strangest fact turns out. Coelacanths give birth alive. Unlike most fish that lay eggs, female coelacanths carry their young for almost 3 years before giving birth. This is one of the longest periods of pregnancy among vertebrates. Imagine this. A creature older than dinosaurs and more capable of pregnancy than whales and elephants. Deep in the abyss, where the sunlight has never penetrated, a survivor floats. A ghost from the past. A fish that was supposed to have disappeared 65 million years ago, but still moving alive today. This is a coelacanth, a living fossil. For centuries, scientists have believed that these are nothing more than bones in stone, a closed chapter in the fossil record. The history of this species goes back more than 400 million years. It is older than the first dinosaurs, older than the first trees, and even older than the Himalayas. It was believed that the coelacanths disappeared at the end of the Cretaceous period as a result of the same extinction as the large reptiles. But then in 1938, on a small fishing boat off the coast of South Africa, history cracked. A fish was pulled out of the nets, so unusual that it looked like a mistake, with lobed fins, covered with scales, with eyes that seemed to glow. The coelacanth was a living thing. The fossil escaped time. And today, even stranger news is coming. New populations and possibly even new species are being discovered. A second species of coelacanth has appeared off the coast of Indonesia, proof that the depths of the sea still hold their secrets, that the story is not over. Scientists suspect that there may be more of them, hidden in trenches and caves where humans have never reached. But what makes the coelacanth so unique? Look at his fins. Unlike ordinary fish, its fins are lobed, muscular, and jointed like limbs. They move in pairs as if they are moving slowly underwater. In fact, if you look closely, you can see that the coelacanth swims like a horse, alternating diagonal pairs of fins. This is the closest we can get to seeing evolution halfway between fish and land animals. These fins are more than just appendages, they are the prototype of legs. Every step of mammals, every footprint on the ground can be associated with these strange fleshy fins. And there's another secret. The skull of a coelacanth has a hinge joint that almost no other vertebrate has. This allows the front of the skull to turn upward, creating a huge gap for swallowing prey, a living mechanism from a forgotten era. His scales. It is covered with cosmine, a strong mineralized layer similar to biological steel. These scales don't just protect, they're time capsules linking fish to ancestors long buried in stone. It is both ancient and surprisingly advanced, a paradox hiding in the dark. But his survival is not guaranteed. The new populations found in the Indian Ocean and Indonesia are small and fragile, a few hundred here, a few hundred there. They are threatened by deep-sea networks, oil exploration, and climate change. Coelacanths may have outlived the dinosaurs, but they may not outlive us. Think about the irony of fate. This fish has survived meteorites, ice ages, and tectonic shifts that tore continents apart, and yet perhaps it was due to human ignorance. Nevertheless, there is a lesson in this. The coelacanth reminds us that extinction is not always the end, and survival is not always an easy matter. There are more tricks in life than we can imagine. What else is hiding in the abyss? What other fossils are still alive and waiting to be found? Philosophers have often said that history repeats itself, but coelacanth shows us that sometimes a story refuses to end. Nothing is lost if it can be remembered, wrote Jorge Luis Borges. A coelacanth is a memory that has become flesh floating. And here's the truth. We know more about the surface of the moon than we do about the homeland of the coelacanths. Perhaps there are entire populations that we have never seen, and entire mysteries that are beyond reach. So the next time you imagine dinosaurs, huge reptiles that rule the earth, remember that one of their neighbors, a fish that is older than all of them, is still alive. He waits quietly in the dark, reminding us that the past is not as dead as we think. Please support this channel if you want me to continue talking about these survivors and the mysteries of the abyss. Like coelacanths, we exist in the shadows, and every like, every comment, every post is oxygen. The link is in the description. Life began at sea, and perhaps it will end there. The coelacanth is proof that time is not a straight line. It bends, twists, hides. And floating in the folds of time is a ghost with blue scales and walking fins, a fish that shouldn't exist, and yet it does.